Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today for this session. My name is Monsi Samuel. I handle product marketing for Zoho Marketing Automation. We are joined by Arun Kumar, who is a product manager for Zoho Marketing Automation. He has been with Zoho for almost 8 years now, so he knows in and out of the product. And we have amazing customer experts such as Ben and Malati and Sujit from email deliverability as well. So I would say it's a house full of domain experts to guide you through these changes which Yahoo and Google has brought in. So today's agenda would be to cover what these changes are, why these changes specifically, and how this is gonna impact your overall email marketing strategies. So if you have any questions for us, please do ping us in the chat box. We'll be answering them simultaneously or towards the end of the session. So why these changes? Why Google and Yahoo has collectively bought these changes for us marketers to focus on? So if you see, they are moving towards a spam-free inbox for their end users, and they want to give them that freedom that they can sort of unsubscribe from any kind of unwanted emails. I'm pretty sure we use Gmail or Yahoo in our personal or business use cases, and there are these inboxes which we maintain, and there are some emails which still slip into these inboxes even without our knowledge. We wouldn't have happened to subscribe to those emails, and still they end up in our inboxes. So this is exactly what Google and Yahoo is trying to address here. They want to they want to make sure there is absolutely no spamming and no phishing attacks from any kind of email service providers or email marketers in specific. So they want their end users to have a cleaner inbox, make sure there is absolutely no inbox clutters and no spam as well. And these policies or these changes are in line with the privacy policies which are relevant in email marketing domain. If you see GDPR or PECR, CAN spam or HIPAA compliance, as a matter of fact, these changes are in the purview of these privacy policies as well. So it's gonna be easier as email marketers because it's gonna definitely add value to your email marketing as well. So let's see what these changes are, and I'll be giving you a gist of what these changes are exactly. Arun would be walking you through these changes or these guidelines in depth. So, if you are a marketer and you happen to send emails more than 5,000 messages or to 5,000 contacts, then definitely by mandatorily you should implement these changes, or else there are high chances that your emails won't land in those inboxes. So make sure you implement domain authentication such as SPF, DKIM, DMARC. If these words sounds new to you, don't worry. That's exactly why we are doing this session. We'll be walking you through what these policies are and how you can implement this. And these changes should be done from your end, the user end. So it's gonna take you 10 to 15 minutes, and it's pretty simple. We'll be walking you through that as well, and absolutely maintain a lower spam rate of 0.3 percentage. If you see Zoho already, as a company globally, we have the policy of 0.1 spam, maintaining a lower spam rate of, let's say, 0.1 percentage. So it's going to be easier for you as marketers, and implement DMARC policies in your marketing, and one click unsubscribes, and absolutely no public domains. Public domains meaning Gmails or Yahoo business emails, Gmails and Yahoo emails for your email marketing. So this is the gist of what we'll be covering today. And before we get into the session, let's take a quick poll and see how the audience is. This will actually help us drive the workshop. So let's just, how many of you have actually authenticated your domain? Great, I can see a couple of them have actually authenticated their email domain, and I think it's gonna be It's gonna make the session easier for Arun. Amazing. I think more than 90 percentage of them have actually authenticated that. I mean, that's a huge positive sign, I would say. So let's jump right into what these policies are, what these changes are, and make sure you implement these in your marketing practices. So over to you, Arun.
Thank you, Mansik. Hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can, Arun. Go ahead.
Thank you. Just give me a quick minute. Let me share my screen. All right. I think everyone can able to see my screen now.
Yes, Arun, we can. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mansik. All right. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining with us. So we'll discuss in detail about what are the changes that has been brought up by Yahoo and Gmail system. So hope you all know from February 1st, Yahoo and Gmail have brought up new guidelines, uh, which means like these guidelines or these informations were already in place, but after February 1st, they made this key points as a mandatory one to all the email senders. So first we'll go one by one. So first we'll talk in detail about domain authentication. So why these changes, like Gmail or Yahoo or any other mailbox service providers, they already started giving authentication or implementing DMARC or keep the bounce rates or keep the spam rates lower, because these are the best practices. Now Gmail and Yahoo started imposing to do these practices to have a better email delivery, or they made these practices a mandate one to have a better email delivery performance. So why these changes? So you know, right, in this email world, there can be many spam emails or many phishing emails are rolling around. So to control the spam emails or to control the phishing emails or to control the spoof the emails, they bought these changes in their email filtering system, and they made these points as mandatory one, so that every senders can able should have followed these rules, so that they can able to save the recipients. Let's say like I have an email account, let's say like arun@gmail.com. I would have received many spam emails or many phishing emails or many spoofed emails. By implementing this, so Gmail and Yahoo will clearly know, or they will have clear view about like how many of the unauthenticated emails are coming through, but how many of the spam email or phishing emails are coming through the system. So that's the reason they brought in this up. So first we'll talk about SPF. So what is SPF? Is SPF nothing but sender policy framework, which is like the senders should authorize the email service, which is Zogo marketing automation, to transfer your emails to the recipient system on behalf of your domain. For example, I'm using a domain called zilka.com in marketing automation tool. So when I send email to Gmail audience or Yahoo audience or Microsoft audience, so recipient system will check what exactly the relationship between uh, the IP and the domain. So if you didn't complete the SPF, they will treat those emails as spam, because they don't authorize this particular IP addresses. So that's the reason we recommend our customers, or we recommend our users to complete SPF, DKIM, and DMARC as well. So even this is not new to Zogo marketing automation. If you see our sender guidelines, we already have this point in the first place: complete authentication, complete SPF, DKIM, and the DMARC before sending out any campaign to your audiences. And next we'll talk about the DKIM, which is domain keys identified email. This is a next level of authentication to the SPF, which means like they uses this particular authentication to identify whether this email is been tampered or not. You know, right? This email is traveling through the internet, and anyone can tamper this email. So they would have inject in something else with the email itself, right? To view or to see that whether this particular email is tampered or not, they have bought in this particular authentication technology in this email. So DKIM is very important thing. And also another point why this DKIM is being used, to know the recipient servers of an email, the message was sent and authorized by the owner of the domain. To know this, they have implemented this DKIM authentication technology. So every senders, those who are using a third party mail service, should have SPF and DKIM on place. So that's the reason that we suggest our customers to do domain authentication. So what if I don't authenticate my domain? What if I don't have SPF, or I didn't complete DKIM in for my domain? What will happen to my emails? The first point is your emails will not land in the inbox. And the second point, like we are not sure about how these mailbox service providers gonna react for your email. So as of now, we are seeing few deferrals, like there are some deferrals, like there are email traffic from this particular IP addresses as unauthenticated email. So which means, like, some of the emails are unauthenticated. So going forward, they may reject the email. As of now, they didn't took any action, but they started giving deferrals, which means, like, they're stopping the emails, like they're trying to control the emails. For example, previously, if you would have sent 100 emails to a Gmail recipient in a minute, previously they would have accepted the email. Now they started rejecting it. So going forward, they may bounce the email, or they would have no move your email directly to the spam folder, or they don't even accept your emails. So to avoid those areas, we recommend you to complete the domain authentication. So how exactly the recipients will gain from this authentication? So they will know this particular email is not a spam email or not a phishing email. They clearly know this particular email is completely authenticated one. So that you will gain trust of the mailbox service providers as well as your recipients. So think about it, like, you are creating a wonderful email, and you create an wonderful segment, and you target your audience. What if that particular email will not go to the inbox, and it will go to the spam folder, or it will not even reach the recipients, right? So to avoid those areas, we recommend you to complete the domain authentication, do SPF and do DKM, and then send your campaigns. So SPF and DKM will not take more than 15 minutes. So we have our beautiful technical support team. They will definitely help you out with it. So if you have any questions or any queries related to SPF and DKM, please write to us. So now we have Maladi from our technical support team, and Benjamin. So they will walk you through how to complete this SPF setups in Zoga Marketing Automation.
Thank you for the introduction, Arun. So that was great. So that was an informative session so far. So I'll not waste much of the time of the attendees. So hello everyone. Thank you for joining. I'll quickly take you through how we'll have to be authenticating our domain. Just a few steps. So I'll take one of the most predominantly used. So before that, I'll share my screen. I'm sorry. Give me just 1 minute. Here it is. So yeah, so I'll be quickly helping you and or assisting you to set up how do we set up SPF and DKM records. So in your DNS service from within marketing automation application. So this is an important step for you to, as Arun has been giving the complete instructions on or complete introduction of what is it and why is it so important. This is the place where we actually implement it. So give me just a second. So here we go. So first, I'm using, or I'm going to be depicting the UI of GoDaddy, which is like a more predominantly used one. And also, don't worry about if you're using on any other domain service or domain providers. So this would be much more similar to what you see in all the DNS setups. So first, we log into the GoDaddy account and navigate to the domain control center, and we'll be selecting the domain settings. So let me depict them all within the images. So here we have to your left. So when you log into the GoDaddy account, to your left, you'll see domains. And post that, when you click on it, so you'll see manage DNS. So that is the place where we add the domain. So which is like we will be adding the records, the DNS records there. So when we proceed further, the DNS management page will be like to your right corner, I mean right bottom corner, you will see add. So the place where we can add your text records. So the type of record which we'll be using is text. So we'll proceed further. So, and these steps would be pretty much similar when it goes to all the DNS providers. So I mean, I'm proceeding to next. So when you go on next, when you add, so these are all the type of records which will be displayed for you to add. So and make sure you choose the right type of record, which is TXT record, and the patterns or the type of records which has to be added, and the host names, the values, everything will be depicted here. So let me take you to the application and proceed further with the helping. So from the poll, we have understood the attendees who are all here, you guys are all using marketing automation 1.0 and 2.0 as well. So I'm going to be depicting the steps from both the applications. Let me take you to the 2.0 first, the latest version. So what you see in the screen is the marketing automation 2.0 version. So to the top right, you have the settings icon. Click on it, and on the same place, again to your top right, under the marketing channels, you have email. Click on it. And from here, you'll have senders and authentication. So this is the place where you add a sender. So this is pretty much simple. So when you add a sender address, so that will be associated to your domain, right? So once that is done, so once your sender address is added, automatically your domain will be fetched here. So from here, we can set up the domain authentication process. So we go setup here. And this would be pretty much simple. So these are all the two records. First one is SPF record, what you see here, and the second one is DKIM. First, let me explain how do you add the SPF records in your DNS, within the DNS servers. So first, we copy this record. So what do you see here? So we add both the SPF and DKIM. Both of them would be TXT records. So first, the host name for the SPF would be, you can either use the @ symbol here, or you can use the domain value. And the next one, we copy the value from the records, the text records which we have given, and we paste it in the value here. So just to highlight a point, if you have already added the SPF record, you might be having this value here. So if the value has already been added, you might be having this v is equal to SPF1 in there. So all you have to do is just include the rest of the part. So edit that and then include the rest of the part. If not, you can add it just like that, what you see here. And we just save it. So the TTL is the default time what you choose. You can choose half an hour, 1 hour. That depends on your DNS providers. So, and next we go DKIM. So all these steps would be the same. So we go, and if after this is done, after you add the SPF, you just click on add record to your left, what you see here, and you proceed further. Then from the beginning, we're going to be adding another record. So which would be the same, the text type would be that. And from there, you will have this. So the host name, what you see here is the host name. So 131. So this is just an example. So this would be the domain key. So what you see is that would be the domain key which has to be added here in the name. And post that, we'll be adding the record, add the TXT records completely. And similarly, we'll add the TTL value, which is like 30 minutes or 1 hour, and then we add the record. So once that is authenticated, so we'll have to wait for that to be published. So which is like your DNS servers would take some time, probably the time which you set, 30 minutes or 1 hour, even how many times, how much of hours you set. So that will take some time. And then once that is done, the domain will be authenticated. So we'll be able to show that in the application itself, where you will see this instead of incomplete, you will see that is being completed. So that is where the domain authentication part will be done. You can also click on inside the application, you'll see learn why you should authenticate your domain. You can also see a few other facts as well. And also in our help documents, so the steps that I have explained, so it's all been present in our help documents. So you can seek help from there. So if you have missed out anything, and also we'll be sharing the recording as well. So now let me show you the version 1.0 if any of our attendees are using 1.0 right now. So let me show you that. So it's pretty much simple, the process is. So when it comes to the DNS part, but just application navigation is different. So when you see the settings would be at the left bottom corner. So you just click on it. And now from there, instead of on the channel, so you'll see domain authentication directly here to your top right. You click on it. So any senders that you add, that'll be fetched in here. So, and you will see these in here. So from there, you click on setup, and every other methods are pretty much the same. So whatever you do after that, it'll be the same as what you authenticate your domain. The authentication process is very simple. And also we have an option to, you can share it with your IT admin. So if any of the attendees who are listening to this right now, if you are not well versed with the DNS usage or something, I'm sure you might be having an IT admin personnel, so you can provide these details to them. Or if you are soulfully doing it, so you can see, you can get these instructions here, and you can also seek the help document. And we are available every time, so you can reach out to us with the chat support. So inside the application, you will have this chat icon to your right bottom corner. So you can click on it, and then you can reach out to the technical support team, where we are very effective to answer your questions. So that'll be pretty much easier for you, and we can proceed with that. And after completing it, so that'll be it. So that'll be about the process of completing those. And what will be the authentication process? So what if you don't authenticate your domain? So there are a few complications, and I would say, to be very honest, so this might be as Arun mentioned before, so this would be all your time and efforts which you put on the marketing activities, that will be in vain if you don't do that. So the chances of your emails, that will be very high to go into spam. So emails may fall victim to spoofing attacks. So that's like very common. So even when you authenticate it, so we'll have to be very careful. But imagine if you don't authenticate your domain at all. So mailbox providers inform contacts that your emails are from unauthorized source. So which is like, say for example, if you're sending an email to a Gmail or a Yahoo provider, if you are a mail server, if you haven't authenticated your domain, so those chances are that Gmail and Yahoo will be informing the users that this domain is not valid. So this domain is not authenticated, or this business is not legit. So the chances they might be landing in spam, or there are, again, even if they are landing in inbox, the chances are that users might report you as spam. So to avoid all these, we'll have to do that domain authentication. So, and then this will impact in your business reputation, your domain reputation, and again, resulting in all your activities going in vain. So emails won't be landing in spam. So the end result for you to get the conversions, so the engagement, so you won't see any results there. So at that point, this would be pretty much important. So yeah, that'll be about the session of that'll be about the steps to how we authenticate the domain. So post which, so Arun will be taking care of it. Over to you, Arun. And then if you have any questions related to what I have explained right now, please feel free to post it in the questions Q&A sessions, so I can drop it to you. And then after this webinar, at the end of the time, we'll also have a Q&A where you can shoot your questions. I can answer it right away. We have Malti as well to support you with us. Yeah, over to you, Arun.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Just give me a minute. Let me take over the screen. Okay. So yeah, I see some of the questions were come for DMARC. So I will explain in detail about DMARC in upcoming slides. So we'll talk about the next important point, which is low spam rates. Okay, this is another important point which is added in the Google and Yahoo sender guidelines. So they kept the spam rates threshold as 0.3 percentage, which means like the customer, or which means like your recipient, those who are marking your email as a spam should not cross this 0.3 percentage. So there is something called a feedback loop system, which is like, I will explain in detail about it. Like uh, a sender, which is a like arun@zilka.com, this is a sender sending an email to Gmail or Yahoo audiences or Outlook audiences. If one of the recipient mark that particular email as a spam, or a mark as a spam, that particular complaint will be processed and forwarded to Zoho marketing automation team. Okay, so Zoho marketing automation will process that particular complaint and move that particular recipient address to the do not mail registry of the Zoho marketing automation account. Okay, so the zilka.com sending an email to recipients, and one of the recipient marking that email as a spam, that particular complaint will be processed by Yahoo system and will be transferred to the marketing automation team. And marketing automation team will process that complaint and remove that particular recipient address from this senders. Okay, so that this particular sender will not be able to send further email to that recipient. This is how the traditional feedback loop system works. This is supported by Yahoo, Microsoft, and other mailbox service providers. Unfortunately, Gmail didn't provide this system. Okay, so and so marketing automation team will not receive any complaint if any Gmail recipient mark the sender's email as a spam. Okay, so how exactly we going to control it, and how we will know how many of the recipients were marked our email as a spam or junk? To solve this particular problem, Gmail has come up with another solution called Postmaster tool. This particular Postmaster tool is already been live. So you just go to postmaster.google.com. Okay, go there and add your domain, and you can able to see the reports, like what exactly your spam rate percentage is. And you'll be able to see like what exactly your spam rate percentage is, and you should not cross that particular 0.3 percentage spam rates. But again, this is not a new to us, because if you know, Zogo marketing automation terms of services has 0.1 percentage as a spam rate complaint rate percentage. So it's in your overall campaign, your campaign should not cross 0.1 percentage as a complaint rate. If you cross that particular percentage, we have a dedicated complaints team, though they used to monitor your every sent campaign, and the campaigns that got high complaints, we'll take them out and we will look at the campaign. We'll inform the customers, like this particular campaign got this particular spam rate. To control this spam rates, you have to follow these best practices. And if the complaint rate is higher, they will block the account and they will tell the customers, for this particular reason we have blocked your account, and to unblock your account you need to take these following actions on your contact list or the mailing list, whichever you send a campaign to. So why this spam rates is, and how exactly it will help senders, okay, to have a better email delivery performance. For example, if the spam rate is higher, it will directly impact on your domain reputation as well as the IP reputation. Okay, that's the reason our complaints team was stepping into, and they will look out all the sent emails, and they will see like if any campaigns that got higher spam rate or not. So what if your domain got blacklisted, or your domain reputation got low? Okay, in this case, if your spam rate is higher, it will directly impact your IP reputation or the domain reputation, right? If it directly affects your domain reputation will go to the low standard, and your further emails to the Gmail audiences will never reach in the inbox placement. Like it will directly go to the spam or junk folder. To avoid these issues, like we request you to monitor your Postmaster tool and see how your spam rates are and how you can able to control it. To control the spam rates is very simple. Send email to only opted in contacts. Don't purchase your contacts, or don't send email to your collected contacts. Send email to the audiences, those who are given opt-in for. So that's how you can able to control the spam rates and validate your contact list. Like I have a contact in my mailing list, like years before, I didn't send an email to him. Shall I able to send email to him now? No. If he receives that email, he may treat like this particular email, and he may mark that email as unsubscribe, or he will mark that email as a spam or junk. Okay, so try to avoid it. Send emails to only opt-in contacts. Don't purchase your contacts. We have a Sujit from our team. He will explain in detail about what is Google Postmaster tool and how exactly you can able to configure your Google Postmaster tool. Now I will give an overview, like what are the things, other things you can able to see in Google Postmaster tool. In Google Postmaster tool, you can able to see the overall spam rate of your campaigns, and what are the percentage of emails that have passed SPF, DKM, or the DMARC, like I'm using a domain zilka.com. I'm using various email platform like Zoho Marketing Automation, Zoho CRM, or Zoho Campaigns, whatever. Which domain has what's the percentage of SPF that has been passed or not? You can able to see all these informations in the Postmaster tool, and the encryption status of inbound and outbound emails. So all the emails that has been sending out from the system or receiving through the system will be encrypted. So you can able to see those status as well, and also you can see the delivery errors. Like if your domain faces any delivery errors when you try to deliver your emails to the Gmail audience. Let's say like zilka.com is a domain where being used in Zoho Marketing Automation tool to send out Gmail audiences. If Zoho Marketing Automation tool faces any delivery issues, you can be able to see those informations as well in the Google Postmaster tool. So it's very effective and it's very useful. So try to configure it and monitor your Google Postmaster tool at least 2 weeks once. That is more than enough. And you keep monitoring your account so that you will know what exactly your spam rate is. If you cross that particular spam rate, we are not sure about it, like what exactly the actions has been could be taken by the Gmail system. They might be stop your email, or they might be bounce your email, or they put your domain in a blacklist or something. Okay, so try to configure your domain in Google Postmaster tool. Over to you, Sujit. Now Sujit will explain in detail about how to configure Google Postmaster tool.
Thank you, Arun, for the detailed explanation. This is Sujit from Zoho Email Delivery Team, and I will be demonstrating you to how to configure Google Postmaster tool, and I will explain the matrices shown in the data. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Sujit, we can see your screen.
Yeah, thanks, Monsi. So open, you need to have a Gmail address to configure Google Postmaster tool. So open Google and just go to the website postmaster.google.com. So once the web page is opened, you will be having, it will be shown like, get started. Just click on get started. The step one is you need to add your brand domain name. So always add just your domain name. Do not include like www dot with your domain name. Just add your brand name. I will just keep it as a brandname.com. So once you have added a domain, just click on next. So Google will show you the text record value here. Similar like adding SPF record, you need to just copy on this record and need to go to your hosting provider and add it in your TXT format. Okay. Once it's added, it will be get verifying here. So you need to click on verify, and that's it. The domain will get verified. I will just show you the domain which has been already verified from our end. Okay. So this is one of our domain where Google Postmaster tool is added. So like Arun said, these are the matrices that Google Postmaster will have: spam rate, IP reputation, domain feedback loop, authentication, encryption, and delivery errors. To know what is spam rate, they itself will be given help icon where you can just click on it and you can go through it. So it will explain you what is spam rate is. So when an user that sending email to Gmail address, when they click on spam, it will be tracked down by Google and it will be displayed here. So you need to keep this rate below 0.3% as insisted by Google. Okay. So this is how the graph will look like. So if you go and click on that dot, it will show you the spam rate for the post send campaigns from your domain. So here you can able to view the record for past 120 days. So you can check your complete history of previous send campaigns. So the next one is IP reputation. So the email that you send through your domain will send via IP address from our end. Okay. So that IP will always know should be greater than medium or high. So if it is in high,
flagged as high, most of the emails that you send will land in your inbox folder. Okay. So similarly, we'll be having the data for past 120 days. So if you see any drop down here, you can write to us. So this is the domain depression data. So it is classified as bad, low, medium, and high. So when you send us if you send most of the emails which is marked as spam, your domain reputation will go to bad. Okay. Similarly, for the low, if you said some considerable volume of, let's say, out of 100%, you send 80% of emails as spam and 20% of email as inbox, your domain may marked as low here. Medium is like occasionally you're sending spam and inbox when it's inbox folder. The high reputation says that most of your emails are getting landed inbox and your recipients are actively engaging with your best practice that you do. So try to keep your domain always flagged as high. If it is dropping to low or medium, you need to go back to your past send campaigns and check what went wrong, whether it's a list or the content or the subscribers which you are used to send email campaign. Feedback is similar to spam rate. Actually, we ESP add an send ready in our header files, which track down the the complaint rate of email that sent to Gmail. Authentication factors. So it says the number of emails that you sent in the previously that passed SPF, DKM, DMARC. Okay. So when this domain was not done with DMARC, right? So it shows DMARC as 0. If you see any failure in DMARC or SPF or DKM, you need to again check what went wrong from your end. So always you need to keep it your success rate 100%. So encryption shows the email that passed the TLS. So email that sent from Zoho Marketing Automation sent via our servers will have TLS encrypted to all your emails. So this is a delivery error. So there will be a graph where you need to just go and click on it. It will show you the messages that has failed to send to your recipients, and it will show what is the exact error that has received. So why it is why the emails have got bounced from a recipient. So they will display you the data here. So you have a clear idea about your past send campaigns, and you yourself can rectify it by adjusting to your previous send campaigns that are going to send in the future. And I hope you got a base fundamental idea about Google Postmaster tool, and it's a free tool that you can use it on your hand. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sujit, for walking us through the Postmaster Google demo. And thank you, Ben, as well, for showing how to set up these from our end. And as Arun rightly said, it's important that the efforts which you put in personalizing these emails shouldn't go in vain. I'm pretty sure with all this new age marketing tools with ChatGPT, we tend to personalize, we tend to focus on the email part of it, the what part of it, but then the what we should equally focus is how part of it or the delivery part of these emails. Unless these emails don't deliver to the inboxes which you intend to, it's gonna be a waste of your effort. So make sure you implement these policies in your email marketing strategies. I can see a couple of questions regarding the email sender addresses. If make sure your email sender address should be a business domain address. That means it shouldn't be gmail.com or yahoo.com. If you are using an email sender address as Gmail or yahoo.com, these emails won't be sent from Zoho Marketing Automation. So make sure you have a properly dedicated business domain as well for running these campaigns. Before we move on to the next session, we'll quickly take a poll. Not sure how many of you follow what DMARC is. Let's see how many have actually implemented DMARC in your email marketing. This is gonna help us drive the next session of webinar. Amazing. I think it's almost half of them have implemented it already, and there are a couple of them who haven't. Don't worry, that's exactly why we are doing this workshop. We are gonna walk you through what DMARC is and how it's gonna impact your email marketing strategies. Make sure you implement these, especially if you have more than 5,000 contacts in your email marketing practices. uh, this is definitely gonna add value to you as a brand and also to your end user. It's really easy for recipients to mark your emails as spam, and that's gonna cost a lot of our efforts and business for us personally. So make sure you run these policies before you run your campaigns. Even if your recipients unsubscribe from your emails, you can definitely win them back with win back campaigns. But then if your recipients marks your emails as spam, or your emails land on spam, it's going to be a different story altogether. So make sure you follow DMARC and have these implemented in your email marketing practices. Over to you, Arun. I think you can dig deep into DMARC.
Sure. Thank you, Monsi. So just give me a quick minute. Let me share my screen. Okay. Hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you. So yes, like I mentioned previously, like we'll talk in detail about DMARC policy. Uh, what is DMARC? Okay, DMARC is a next level of authentication technology, like how we discussed, like in how we are done for SPF and DKIM. Now, DMARC is a next level of authentication technology. This this particular technology is mainly used to protect from the domain spoofing. So like anyone can able to spoof your domain, and they can able to send email from your domain itself. Let's say like I have a domain zilka.com or arun.com. So someone can able to spoof my domain, and they can able to send email from zilka.com to the recipient systems, right, or the recipient. So to avoid that, to control this particular spam, so email community has brought up this particular authentication technology, so that the sender, which means like the domain owner, will get to know which email and which IP address has been used to deliver emails to that particular recipient address. They will clearly know about it. So to do DMARC authentication, there is something called enforcement policy, which is a policy you will able to update in your DNS settings. So there is nothing to do with in Zoho marketing automation, like Ben has showed, like how you can copy the SPF record, or how you can copy the DKM record from the Zoho marketing automation, and you can go ahead and update in DNS settings. So we don't have any record for it, because DMARC is completely will be done in your domain level. So you need to contact your hosting provider and tell them that you want to do update DMARC record for your domain. So what are the policies and how it will be? There are three policies. The first stage is policy equal to none, which means the sender or the domain administrator telling the recipient system For example, the zilka.com is telling the Gmail or Yahoo system that what exactly this particular email has to be, which is like the domain which don't have the SPF or don't have the DKIM. What exactly the recipient system will do about the email? If the policy is equal to none, which means like they don't want to do anything about it, just give the report to the domain administrator. Like this particular domain zilka.com have sent email from this particular IP address which don't have SPF or which don't have DKIM, and so that the recipient system will not do about it, but the call will be taken by the recipient system, which means like Gmail and Yahoo. They will accept the email, or they will move the email to the spam folder for the domain which didn't complete SPF and DKIM. So the next policy is quarantine. Quarantine means like the email which don't have SPF or they don't have DKIM, they will accept the email. Gmail or Yahoo system will accept the email, but they don't deliver the email to the inbox or the spam folder. From the marketing automation or the any email service provider tool that you use, you can see that particular email is delivered to the recipient system, but it is not. The recipient system will quarantine the email and they don't deliver to the recipient, actual recipient. They don't even move to the spam folder. So that's the next level of policy. The third policy is policy equal to reject. Okay, if you updated this particular policy in your DMARC record, so recipient system will know, they don't treat anything. Like if they receive the email, they will check the DMARC record, they will see whether this particular email has SPF, DKIM. If everything is correct, they will allow the email to the recipient inbox. If they don't see SPF or DKIM, they will simply reject the email. Okay, they don't accept the email, or they don't move the email to the spam or junk folder. They will directly reject the email. So how exactly the senders will gain from the DMARC policy? Okay, if you update the DMARC policy, it will improve your overall email deliverability performance. How exactly is that? Because you are gaining trust from the mailbox service providers. They will look the email, and that's the authentication is a base filtering system in every mailbox service providers. First, the initial check they will do is whether this particular email is properly authenticated or not. So they have SPF, is it is passed. DKM, it is passed. DMARC, it is passed. They will treat your email as a genuine email or not any spam or fishy email. Okay, so we'll allow your email to the next level of filtering system. So it will also prevents from email spoofing. Your brand reputation will be saved. So try to complete the DMARC authentication before sending out any campaign to your recipients. Now, what exactly the point that has been mentioned in Google's sender guidelines is, if your email volume is below 5,000, let's say like Arun, I am sending email only to 1,000 contacts to the Gmail recipients. Do I have to do the DMARC for my domain? No, you don't have to do, because it is not mandatory one for you. They splitted this particular rule in two different points, like uh, those who are sending below 5,000 contacts and those who are sending above 5,000 contacts. If your contact volume is below 5,000, you don't have to do it, but it is a highly recommended one. If you are sending more than 5,000 contacts to the Gmail audience or the Yahoo audience, you have to do it, or else your mails will not be accepted. We already started seeing deferrals from the Gmail and Yahoo systems for the domain those who are not authenticated. So try to control it, try to avoid those delivery errors. And but what I would recommend is, like, we highly recommend you to complete the DMARC, whether you are sending email to 2,000 contacts or 3,000 contacts or more than 5,000 contacts, whatever the number it is. We highly recommend you to stop sending email right now if you don't complete the SPF, DKM, and the DMARC, and complete it before you're sending out to your recipient system. And you all to know, like, how exactly this will help your overall email delivery performance. Like, if you have a proper SPF record, if you have a proper DKM record, and if you have a proper DMARC record, obviously your inbox placements rate will get higher. So that's the reason we highly recommend our senders and our customers to complete email authentication. Okay, and the next point is one click unsubscribe. So this is another important point which is mentioned in Google Sender guidelines, which means there is something called one click header, which has to be included in every bulk email that has been sending to third parties from the third party service. Let's say like you are using Zoho marketing automation or Zoho campaigns or Zoho CRM. There should be an header called one click unsubscribe should be added in your email, which is already added by the Zoho marketing automation. So senders don't have to do anything about it, which means like if you're already using Zoho marketing automation, this particular check is already done by the Zoho marketing automation team. So we already done from the backend itself. And there's another point which they mentioned in the sender guidelines, which is whenever they receive the unsubscribe, Zoho marketing automation or the email platform should process the unsubscribe request within 2 days of time frame. Okay, so in this particular point, you don't have to worry about it because we do it instantly. So as soon as we receive request from the Gmail or any service, we will process it immediately. We'll remove that particular email address from your account and we'll move it to the do not mail registry. So unless and until the same customer or the same recipient would resubscribe to the sign up form and confirm it, we don't move that particular contact to the actual active mailing list. So if you are using Zoho marketing automation or Zoho campaigns, you don't have to worry about it because this particular item is already taken care by our team. You all know, like, Zoho marketing automation is a CSA certified senders, which means like there is a third party service which they will evaluate all the deliverability programs. So we participated and we cleared all these checks like 3 or 4 years before. So before 4 years itself, we done this particular steps. We have taken that. So this is already covered. And the last point is no more public domains as from address. No. If you are using gmail.com or yahoo.com or outlook.com, please stop using right now and try to create a branding domain and have a proper SPF and a proper DKIM and proper DMARC record for it. Because this is another point we just mentioned in the Google guidelines, but not as this. What they have mentioned is like if you are sending email to any Gmail audience, you have to complete SPF and DKM, which means like let's say like you are using gmail.com as your sender address. For example, arun at gmail.com is a from address or sender address. For gmail.com, you couldn't able to do the SPF and DKM, right? Because you don't have access for the DNS settings. So if you use gmail.com or yahoo.com or microsoft.com or outlook.com or whatever the domain that you're in your location or in a region, you should not use that particular public domain as your sender address. If you use it, again, your emails will be stopped or deferred, or your emails will not even deliver to the recipients. How exactly in Zoho marketing automation we handled it? So if you from February 1st, we already stopped allowing our customers to use Gmail address as a sender address. Yahoo is already done. You couldn't able to you won't be able to add Yahoo address as a sender address in marketing automation in the same way like we handled for Gmail as well. So you can able to create a campaign, but you couldn't able to launch a campaign using a Gmail sender address. Okay, so what if I already scheduled a campaign with the same Gmail address, or I already have an automation running with the Gmail address? What will happen to those emails? For the automation part, we didn't touch anything. Your emails will go as you configured. It will send through, but you will have a delivery problems for the Gmail from the Gmail system. Okay, so if you see or if you know that you already configured a gmail.com as your sender address and created an automation, please stop it right now and get a domain, do SPF, do DKIM, do DMARC, and then resume your workflow or journey that you configured it in marketing automation. Okay, and what for the scheduled campaigns? If you already scheduled a campaign with a Gmail address, we will move that particular campaign into the draft status, and our system will send you a notification email stating that this particular campaign is moved to draft status because of this particular reason. Like your campaign has a gmail.com as a sender address, so we are moving this particular campaign to a draft status. To continue this, please change the sender address. So this is the last point that I would like to explain. If you have any public address, gmail.com or yahoo.com or outlook or microsoft, whatever, so please don't use that particular domain as your sender address. Remove it, create a new domain, add spf dkm and dmark, and then start resuming your email activity or whatever you plan for in the marketing automation tool. Apart from this, there are a couple of best practice that I would like to recommend. So keep your emails very legal. Protect your brand reputation by having proper authentication technologies like spf dkm and dmark, and improve by adding all these practices, sending email to proper opt-in context, and keeping your bounce rates low. You can able to improve your overall email deliverability performance, right? So yeah, this is how you can able to increase your inbox placement rate, control your spam rate, and keep your spam rates as well as low. Monitor your Google Postmaster tool at least 2 weeks once, and make sure your complaint rate is below 0.3 percentage, and your overall complaint rate in Zoho marketing automation should be 0.1 percentage. Don't cross it, because we have a dedicated complaints team, those who are watching our campaigns. So that's it, I think. Yeah, so if you need any help in terms of setting up in the authentication, or you already have a domain but I don't know how to configure it in Google Postmaster tool, don't worry about it. Please reach out to our support desk. They will help you out with it. So I think I'm done, so handing over to Monsi again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arun. I think it was a very detailed session on DMARC and SPF and DKIM. So, if you do have any questions for us, now is the time for you to ping us. We will be answering it right now. Uh, and we'll be sharing the recording of the session. Once we are done with it, we'll be emailing it to you as well, and also hosting it on our website. So just to reiterate what we have discussed today, make sure that you implement SPF, TKIM, and DMARC in your email marketing practices. Absolutely maintain a lower spam rate of 0.1 percentage. So if you're sending emails to, let's say, 1,000 contacts, it just takes one recipient to mark your email as spam. So make sure you have a solid content, regardless of the personalization. Absolutely content which adds value to your end user, and keep those spam rates lower, and have one click unsubscribe. We can't stress enough on this point. Make sure you have these unsubscribes in place, and also absolutely no public domains going forward. If you are using Gmail and Yahoo.com as your sender addresses, please do shift from those and make sure you have a business domain, and ensure that your emails land in your intended inboxes as well. We'll be waiting for a couple of questions. Happy to answer that for you guys. I think we have a question from Lloyd to confirm if we have an unsubscribe button automatically. Definitely, we do have these in our templates in Zoho marketing automation. By default, you will have these unsubscribe buttons in place. But then, as marketers, we tend to get creative around these unsubscribe buttons. We don't want our end users to sort of go away from us. So there are chances that marketers sort of hides this, or removes it from our emails. To ensure that, please do have these unsubscribes in place and don't remove it. You need not add it separately. Just make sure that you have these unsubscribes in place, and on top of it, if you have a preference management sender, that's gonna add value for your email marketing practices.
Hi, Ravi. I just to add a point to you, you mentioned that how do we add unsubscribe to the right of the email sender? So I'm not sure with you 100% sure with your question here, but if you would like to add an unsubscribe, so you can add. There's two ways. So if you don't want to have a footer to your email campaign, so you can add your unsubscribe link to any of the text inside your email campaign content itself, like in an anchor and hyperlink it to a text. And if you are looking for something else, I would like to elaborate that. And just to add another point of, for the previous question answered by Monsi. So if you would like to remove the unsubscribe buttons or remove the unsubscribe merge tag from your email campaign, so that is not feasible with marketing automation. So we don't allow those campaign to be sent out. So it's like mandatory thing within marketing automation for you to have an unsubscribe link inside your email campaign. So it's always better to do that as well. So you will on top of that, we provide the managed preferences now. So the customers can choose, or the end users can choose which topics they would like to be receiving the newsletters or campaigns from, and then they can still be a part of your organization. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome, Apish.
If you have any questions pertaining to Zoho marketing automation in general, now is the time. We have got a couple of questions. If you need any help in terms of implementing these policies in your email marketing or in your version of Zoho marketing automation, please do write to us at support@Zoho marketing automation. We are more than happy to help you out, or you can just visit our website. There is a live chat bot. You can ping us there as well. It's gonna take 10 to 15 minutes from our end.
Hi, so I've got a question here. So, do we have any sort of do and don't example showing how do we add the unsubscribe button? So, I would suggest you a few things where there isn't any specific do and don'ts, but we can, as a marketing team, we can suggest you a few do and don'ts. So, it's always better to have the unsubscribe link in your footer itself. So it's like on a very rare case, or if you're targeting specific set of audience, so where you don't want to send a footer or you don't want to add a footer at that place, it's always better to merge it within a text. Say for example, if you're adding a merge tag, unsubscribe link would be a merge tag. So if you're adding that merge tag in your email campaign, so don't add it just like that in your in your campaign. Make sure you hyperlink it to a text. So say for example, click here to unsubscribe. So that'll be a prompt one. So if you just add it like that, that'll be a long link. So that wouldn't give a good projection to your end user as whether your campaign has been even legit. So they won't even read the content if they see a long link inside your email campaign in the first place. So it's always good to hyperlink it. And always we suggested it would be better if we have it in the footer. So yeah, that would be it. And then if you are looking for a specific set of conditions, so you can reach out to us via support, and then you can ask your suggestion anytime. So you can even, if you would like to be very immediate with the answers, so you can reach out to our chat support. So we'll be happy to assist you on that case. So if there is anything specific, if you have any specific use cases that you would like to have. And is there any way to pull early reports? So yearly reports. In that case, if you are if you are specific to email campaigns, if you're looking for to pull an yearly report, we are working on it. So that will be available very soon. So in order to get the complete reports, our development team is working on this. So within the application, so you will have the option to bring in the complete report. So meanwhile, if you are using multiple products of Zoho, or if you are a Zoho One subscriber, so you can use Zoho Analytics to do this. So you can add all your email campaigns and then pull up the reports from there to get your number crunching processes, or even to get the analytics part done. But just for now, so within the application, the option and the reports, the export reports option will be available very soon. We are steadfast working towards it. Oh yes. So the other function that I was mentioning is the integration which is available between Zoho Analytics and Marketing Automation 2.0. So or in that case, if you feel that is like too much to do, too much to work for you, so give it some time. So where we'll keep you posted about the updates about the export report option inside the application itself. So the functionality of the integration will be available from the Zoho Analytics interface. I guess we're all done with the questions. So, and just to give you another information about, if you have any more questions, or if you have any more queries, or even use cases to be handled, or if you want to know how that, few things has to be done. So, despite of the webinar, so if you have anything related to the webinar, you can reach out to us. Even despite respective to the webinar, if you have anything to do with marketing automation, so please reach out to support@zohomarketingautomation.com, or you can always reach out to the chat support, which is available inside the application. So if you're a 2.0 user, that'll be available inside the application. If you're using 1.0, so you can move to the website. So there the chatbot will be available inside the website page. So you go to the website homepage, the chatbot will be there. So you can reach out to us anytime for any assistance. So we'll be more than happy to assist you. So thank you all for your time. So over to you, Monsi.
Thank you so much, Ben. Thanks, Malati, Sujit, and Arun. I think it was a quite productive session. Thank you so much for the amazing efforts, guys. If you, as mentioned by Ben, if you do have any questions, please do reach out to us at the email we'll be providing in the chat box as well. We'll be sharing the recording as well towards once the webinar is done. We'll be sharing it over email and also hosting it on our website. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you implement these practices in your email marketing and ensure you have a happy email marketing in 2024. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day.